He once got hit with a buffalo wing on stage, challenged an NFL player to a race in defective underwear, and nearly confessed to drug possession in Mexico, drugs that belonged to someone else. But no matter what, the result is always the same. These are some Kevin Hart moments that made celebrities lose it.
I'm your wife.
That's it.
Why would you hit your wife?
It's gonna be great. What you doing? Let him get him out though. He ain't had no good game.
Here's the thing about Kevin Hart. The man is a weapon, not just on stage, not just on screen, but in real life, in interviews, on set, in the middle of a serious scene when nobody asked him to be funny. He just is. High energy, completely unfiltered, and somehow always the funniest person in the room, even when that room is full of A-listers who've been doing this for decades. Celebrities who've worked with Kevin will tell you the same thing. You think you're prepared, and then you're absolutely not. And we're starting off with The Rock, because of course. 2016, we're on the set of Central Intelligence, the very first time Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart shared a screen together, and already you can tell these two are cooked. There's this one blooper where The Rock has to slap Kevin, a scene that should take 30 seconds. It took forever, because neither of them could hold it together long enough to film it.
You are not my wife. Hey. Oh, that's it. I'm gonna. I promise you on everything. Let's keep on.
What makes it hit is knowing this was basically the beginning. The friendship, the bromance, all of it was born right there on that set through undeniable chemistry and pure uncontrollable laughter. And we are nowhere near done with Dwayne Johnson on this list.
Well, you think Mr. T and Sting and The Rock, you think those guys are real? That's a bunch of nicknames by a bunch of people.
But if you think Kevin loses it on a movie set, just wait until you put a Jenga tower in front of him.
Ellen, do not talk while I'm doing my piece right now.
Before the game even started, Kevin had already accused Ellen of cheating and announced they'd be playing speed Jenga, one hand only, because apparently anything less wasn't serious enough.
You want to go first?
I'll go first.
One hand.
One hand.
Go.
I'll go first.
Go.
Strategy to
All
my
right.
Jenga. Strategy to my Jenga.
All right.
My piece is out.
What makes this moment so iconic is that Kevin was genuinely competitive, like disturbingly so. The focus, the strategy, and the reactions were all completely unhinged in the best possible way.
No! Why would you do that? Why are you doing that? Do you want to end the game?
There's a strategy to this game. Ah!
Ellen loved it so much she kept coming back to it, reposting it, replaying it, because some moments just don't get old.
The fall.
This one definitely doesn't, and that's why Ellen knew exactly who to call when her birthday rolled around. February 2nd, 2018, Ellen DeGeneres turned 60, and somehow Kevin Hart ends up inside a gift box to surprise her. He was literally wheeled onto the stage as a present, because apparently that's just a normal thing that happens when you're Kevin Hart.
It's beautiful. You know why I got you this?
Tell me.
Well, you know, every time I come on here, you're always saying, oh my God, Kevin, you're so funny. You're like, oh my God, Kevin. You always say God in my name, so I said...
But here's where it gets good. Kevin starts joking about how this isn't even his first time being someone's birthday surprise, referencing a whole story about Justin Bieber, a bear, and a moment that clearly still lives rent-free in his head.
I love you.
We're gonna take a break. Before we go, are you doing stand-up? Are you on tour?
Oh, I am. Actually, this is not why I'm here, but I'll say it.
This is where it gets genuinely sweet, though. Because between all the chaos and the laughs, Kevin looked at Ellen and just said that she's a woman he truly loves, and she deserved every bit of it. The joke lands, and then the sincerity hits right after. That's the Kevin Hart move, and it works every single time. And while Kevin clearly knows how to make someone feel special on their birthday, the moment his roasting side comes out, nobody is safe. Don Cheadle was the guest on Kevin's show, Hart to Hart, when he casually mentioned he's 56 mid-sentence in a serious conversation.
Me, you know, I'm 56 years old.
Damn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because it was a thought. No, seriously. It was a thought. It was a thought, and I blurted it out.
That's it, one word, and the look on Don Cheadle's face is priceless. That awkward pause before Kevin catches himself and apologizes is the funniest non-joke ever told.
I can sit up here and honestly say, buddy, that was from a place of love.
Got it.
Like, damn.
That was from...
Like, damn.
You didn't... If we could play it back right now,
play it back.
These are two different dams.
What makes this so good is the back and forth that follows. Kevin keeps trying to dig himself out and somehow keeps digging deeper. And then Cheadle completely flips it around at the end and wins the whole thing.
Kevin.
I said, damn it.
Each time you said it, now it's gotten quieter and quieter. I could barely hear you that last time when you said it.
Well, that means that you can barely hear the truth. So who has the problem here? What's the problem?
And if Kevin had Don Cheadle feeling some type of way about 56, just wait until you see what he did to this next celebrity. Kevin Hart looks Will Ferrell dead in the eyes and delivers what might be the most casually devastating thing ever said in a friendly conversation.
I hope we do work again, Will, because I don't know how much time you got left. And I would love for us to do something before it's too late, man.
And you can see the exact moment it lands because Will Ferrell, one of the funniest people on the planet, genuinely starts to spiral. The confusion, the pause, the slow realization that he's being had, it's all right there on his face.
Is there something you know about me that I don't know? Like medical health history wise?
See, I can't stay in it. See, that was my attempt to stay in it.
That's what makes Kevin so dangerous in these settings. He doesn't go for the obvious joke. He commits fully, calmly, until the other person has no idea what's real anymore. And Will Ferrell wasn't the only one Kevin had questioning their own, well, expiration date. Kevin Hart sits down with Mark Wahlberg and within minutes is casually making him feel ancient.
The transition from music to acting, right? And of course, we're talking about, this is 30-something years ago, right? I'm not going to damn you, but we're talking about a very long time ago.
He starts doing the math on Wahlberg's career, 30-something years in the industry. And you can see Mark slowly realizing where this is going. But instead of backing down, he decides to play Kevin at his own game.
I go back to it again.
I'm saying, but... right? It's a long time ago. At this point in time,
the only thing I'll be able to go to is the short jokes. Bro. Come on, I'm trying to stay off of that.
At this time, though,
me and Tom Holland want to work with you. You make us look tall.
That's what makes this one special. Kevin came to roast, and for once, somebody roasted him right back. And if Mark Wahlberg had Kevin feeling self-conscious about his height, the next moment did absolutely nothing to help.
Hey. What's going on?
I don't like it.
What don't you like?
I don't like the tack. When I see something wrong, I can't keep it to myself. I'm gonna speak my mind. Let me talk to the man.
Picture this: a professional boxing gym, a reigning world heavyweight champion preparing for a title fight, and Kevin Hart is standing next to two of the most physically imposing men on the planet, deciding he's the most qualified person in the room to give boxing advice.
This is stupid. Okay? What you need to do is focus on the foot. Okay? I didn't hear you say anything about a foot. We're in a fight, I'm gonna step on your foot. If I got your foot, get away.
He's critiquing technique and suggesting strategies that have absolutely no business being inside a professional gym. You can tell The Rock is barely holding it together in the background, and then the moment The Rock suggests Kevin actually grab some gear and show them the movements in real life, that's it. Show's over. Man left the building.
You come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna come.
He wants to make sure you come back.
You got your phone on you? I'm gonna call you in a second. Just answer the phone. Let's get out of here.
That's the Kevin Hart formula right there. Loudest voice in the room, first one out the door. And somehow, it never gets old. And if standing next to The Rock and a heavyweight champion wasn't enough of a size check, this next one was about to finish the job. NBA All-Star Weekend 2025, Kevin Hart is on court MC, hyping the crowd, completely in his element. And then Shaquille O'Neal walks over.
OG's side.
Hold on, back up, man. Are you out of my back like that. Back up.
7'1" next to 5'2". It never gets old. Every single time these two end up in the same frame, people react like they're seeing it for the first time, because honestly, it still doesn't look real. The banter throughout the whole weekend was relentless. Shaq going after Kevin's height, Kevin firing back about anything and everything else, neither one backing down for a second.
Shaq, first things first. Why are you dressed like a director?
And why you get your outfit at Kids R Us?
Shut up, man. Focus.
But it's that image, the two of them just standing there, that always stops everyone mid-scroll. But if you thought Kevin Hart was out of his depth standing next to Shaq, wait until you see what happens when someone hands him a gymnastics mat. This is 2018, Kevin Hart's fitness series, and the premise is simple. Kevin and Terry Crews walk into a gymnastics class and immediately get humbled by kids half their size.
Two, push, and roll.
Terry, what the you doing, man?
Oh.
Then you ain't even let me roll.
You gotta jump.
All right, well, you gotta
jump.
You threw me out.
You can see the exact moment both of them realize that strength and gymnastics are two very different things, and neither of them has what it takes. But it's the kids class that really does it. Watching these two grown, built men struggle through routines that 6-year-olds are nailing effortlessly, genuinely one of the funniest things ever put on camera. And if gymnastics couldn't humble Kevin Hart, maybe karate with would do the trick. Kevin Hart walks into a karate dojo with Rebel Wilson and immediately declares himself basically already a black belt. His credentials, nothing but a karate book his mom bought him. He finished it in 35 minutes and certified himself on the spot.
Did martial arts before?
Self-taught. One book is called Karate from Behind. I did that one in 30 minutes. Another was called Right Foot Up, Left Foot Down.
And you can tell the instructor is trying. What makes this one so good is that Rebel Wilson, who actually had real teenage training, ends up being surprisingly decent. Meanwhile, Kevin is out there doing whatever he learned from that book, and it shows. The sparring match at the end, the rubber knife, the very patient black belts going easy on both of them. It's chaos from start to finish.
Oh, I caught it in my sleep.
Cut his Achilles.
And while Kevin can usually find a way to turn things around, the Graham Norton couch had a very different plan for him.
Can you see my body with this red color? I look like a floating head.
2024, Kevin Hart sits down on the Graham Norton couch and practically disappears into it. He's wearing red, and from certain angles, it genuinely looked like a floating head. Just Kevin Hart's face hovering above the furniture. And Sofia Vergara was not going to let that go. She led the roasting for minutes. The whole couch joins in one after another. And just when Kevin thinks it's dying down, his Modern Family episode gets brought up and the whole thing starts all over again.
Say, my episode was one of the best.
I remember that episode.
But then Kevin fires back at Vergara, and suddenly it's a full two-way roast on live television.
I have this accent that is not that strong, but you know, it sometimes not allows me to play every role that I want, and so I had to look for roles for me.
The man spends half his life being roasted and still somehow always finds a way to flip it. But as much as Kevin loves being in the hot seat, nothing makes him happier than putting someone else in it. The Rock is talking about potentially branching out into new genres, maybe some choreography, a musical moment, big ambitions, exciting stuff. And then Kevin Hart hears the word choreography and just stops him cold.
But so who would do it?
There's some, what do you mean, in what way?
You say it would include song and choreography, so if you wouldn't be in that, of course, so who would do
Why
it?
do you say it like that, though?
What do you mean?
Because you can't dance.
As if I can't dance. What are you talking about?
What follows is one of the most chaotic 30 seconds these two have ever shared, and that is genuinely saying something. Kevin goes after him, The Rock gets defensive, and then out of nowhere, the phrase boogie oogie oogie enters the conversation, and everything falls apart completely.
What is that? What is boogie oogie oogie? Are you 78? What is that?
I'll show you later.
The f just happened?
Don't worry. I know what I turned into.
He kept I'll boogie oogie oogie. What?
The man can act, he can produce, he can headline literally anything, but Kevin Hart just found the one thing he thinks Dwayne Johnson apparently cannot do, and he is never letting it go. And if Kevin loves roasting The Rock, someone Esla had receipts proving Kevin isn't exactly a professional dancer himself.
Said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hit him with the heel toe hop. That's my move. That's my dance move. It's called the heel toe hop.
Kevin Hart shows up to a friend's wedding, decides the vibe needs elevating, and the moment his favorite song comes on, out comes the heel toe hop. A signature move, years in the making, one hand casually behind his back because he's that comfortable. His wife told him not to do it. He told her to stop being the fun police.
Like when I'm having fun, 100%. Pull over, you're having too much fun. Like it's like.
And then both feet left the ground at the same time, and the rest is internet history. The way he tells it to Jimmy Fallon, blaming the shoes, describing his life flashing before his eyes, calling out every single friend who grabbed their phone instead of helping him up is funnier than the actual fall.
They were pointing at you and laughing. There was no one helping you up. No one helped you up at all. These are some good friends. That's some good friends.
But in the end, Kevin Hart hit the ground at a wedding and somehow turned it into a 9 million view masterpiece. That's a gift very few people have. And as painful as that wedding fall was, it wasn't even the most physically devastating thing Kevin Hart has ever had to explain to Jimmy Fallon.
A few months ago, you had some incident where you ended up, you were in like a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And what happened? What accident did happen?
I broke my.
The story happens at 2 in the morning, involves a cookout, a couple of drinks, and Kevin Hart looking at a former NFL running back thinking, yeah, I got him. Nobody asked for this race. Kevin volunteered himself, completely unprovoked. So they head to the middle of the street and Kevin is actually feeling it, very comfortable, all until step 15. That's when everything goes wrong. He said he was in the same underwear all day, had no elasticity left, and he's telling all of this to Jimmy Fallon on national television in full detail.
You were getting a little Alfonso Ribeiro, by the way. You were a little. That's how you run? You're like, hey, you want a foot race? No. Yo, I'll foot race, no problem.
No, I never did that.
It's not unused.
And then Kevin wraps it up with a full retirement speech. No more racing, no more competing. He's 44, he's at peace, it's over. And if you thought Kevin Hart had reached his limit for oversharing on live television, wait until you see the next moment.
What did you perform at? You performed at a seafood festival?
I mean, which shit show you want to know about?
It was over. I think they wanted. Was it crab?
I had a crab fest.
During an interview with Graham Norton, Kevin talked about his early career. He talked about how, at this time, he had no access to luxury venues, no sold-out arenas. Just wherever he can build a stage and make money, which is how he ends up doing stand-up comedy at a crab fest, and then, somehow, at a male strip club that shut down for comedy during the first half of the night.
I got on stage when they introduced me, and this lady was like, pull it out! I said, hey, that's not me. I'm not here for that.
The women in that audience were not there for jokes. Kevin figures this out immediately, tries to pivot to family-friendly material. It does not land, and then a buffalo wing hits him in the face, thrown by a man with a very deep voice, who, when Kevin calls him out, stands up and owns it completely. No apology, just presence.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a man. I'm a man first. Don't disrespect me. He stood up. He was like, I did it. And I contemplated just taking my clothes off. I was like,
the Graham Norton couch is absolutely losing it, and honestly, so are we. Because only Kevin Hart has an origin story that includes getting hit with a buffalo wing mid-punchline. And if Kevin Hart's early career stories are this unhinged, just wait until he and The Rock start talking about superpowers. While promoting their film DC League of Super Pets, Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart were asked a simple question. What superpower would you want in real life? And Kevin Hart didn't even think about it. He said he wants to turn off his digestive system.
What kind of superpower would you like to have?
I want to be able to hold my shit. I don't want to shit anymore.
Like hold it in?
Yeah, I don't want to be able to shit anymore.
Oh, so just no more
No shit comes out of
So
my
not
body.
even holding shit,
No.
just no more shit.
No more.
He doesn't want to fly, doesn't want to be invisible, just full control over whether or not his body needs to do its business that day, on his terms, his schedule, his call entirely.
But that's my power. If I chose to,
Right.
I could. But my power is saying, I don't want to today. I'll shut it off. So if I can eat all day, right? And on that day, if I feel like going, I'll go. But if I'm like, not today.
And the way he explains it with complete conviction, like this is genuinely the most practical superpower anyone has ever come up with, is what sends The Rock completely over the edge. And The Rock, he goes thoughtful, X-ray vision, seeing through people into their hearts, their souls. Very deep, very Dwayne Johnson, and still Kevin manages to turn into something else.
See-through.
Oh. Wait a second. That's a little dark, buddy.
No, just see-through. I just want to see through things.
We trying to see through.
But you can tell this is exactly why these two work so well together. One of them is out here being profound. The other one is redefining what it means to have a gift. And as unhinged as Kevin Hart gets with The Rock, nothing quite compares to what his own kids put him through.
Kevin, you brought your kids back to Philadelphia.
Yes.
But not for like Kevin Hart Day. You brought them back to where you're from.
Yeah.
Okay. And was it
Kevin Hart is a proud father, takes parenting seriously, wants his kids to understand hard work, real life, and where they come from. So he does what any good parent would do, loads them up and takes them back to Philadelphia, back to the neighborhood, back to the exact spot where it all started. Imagine this, it's 7 in the morning and they're standing outside his childhood home and Kevin is ready to deliver the speech of a lifetime.
And I get done and my kids are like, we want to live here! No. This place is a piece of
And just like that, the lesson ended immediately. Fully abandoned, Kevin Hart, who has survived strip clubs and buffalo wings, was completely defeated by his own children in under 60 seconds. The Graham Norton couch absolutely loses it, and honestly, you can't blame them. And if his kids had him questioning his parenting skills in Philadelphia, things got even worse when he actually had to babysit them alone. Kevin Hart will be the first to tell you that he is not qualified to watch children, his own or anyone else's. This is from one of his stand-ups, and it is a confession as much as it is a bit. Daddy Day sounds like a beautiful idea. He watches the kids, his wife gets a break, and everyone wins, except Kevin genuinely cannot handle it.
Here's the bad thing about Daddy Day. I'm not qualified to watch my kids by myself.
The patience isn't there. The focus isn't there. And he doesn't even know how his wife makes them listen to her.
I try to be nice. I try to start off nice when I'm trying to discipline my kids or tell them what to do. Hey, no, go, hey, come here. Hey, motherfucker, I'll punch you in the, God, please.
His kids cried all day. He assumed they had attitudes. His wife came home and asked what they ate. Turns out he had eaten. They had not.
Oh, she's like, why they crying? I was like, because they spoiled and they got attitudes. That's why they crying. And she's like, well, did they eat? I was like, damn it. I ate, but they didn't say nothing when I ate. They just...
The audience is losing it because you can tell every single word of this is completely, painfully true. And if Kevin Hart can't handle his own kids, just wait until he ends up in front of actual authorities in Mexico.
With the drugs. That's how we get the drugs through. We alternated like that. Everybody on the plane was like, bet, dope, yeah, let's do it. I said, that don't work for me. I don't like that plan. I don't get my name on my bag. Don't touch my bag. You touch my bag, I'll tell.
time.
Kevin Hart lands in Mexico, looks out the window and finds officers everywhere, dogs on the tarmac, and the whole thing looking like an episode of Narcos he did not sign up for. Turns out his friends on the same plane had drugs in their bags. They had a brilliant plan involving alternating bags. Kevin wanted absolutely no part of it. His name was on his bag, and he made sure not to touch anyone else's bag, and he planned to tell immediately.
I've never seen dogs look through the window of the plane. The dogs. When I saw the dogs, I said, oh boy. Y'all going to jail. Y'all going to f***ing jail.
And then an officer gets on the plane and walks straight up to Kevin and starts asking questions in Spanish. And Kevin does not speak Spanish.
He looking right at me. He looking me dead in the eye. He go, ¿Qué? I don't know what the K mean.
Kevin panics, says the only Spanish word his brain could find in that moment. It was queso.
I thought about the cheese, queso cheese. I don't know what queso. I thought I was being a smart ass. He said, oh.
Then comes the booth, red light or green light. Kevin is first in line, completely falling apart, and somehow almost confesses on behalf of everybody.
Let me tell you something right now. If you press that button and you get a red light, you can cancel Christmas. It's over for you. You hear me? It's over for you. It get dark as when you press that button and it's red.
The audience is completely gone, and honestly, so is Kevin. You can tell this man genuinely thought it was over. And if Kevin Hart nearly fell apart at a customs booth, wait until someone actually tries to rob his house. Kevin Hart's house got robbed, and instead of a security system, he bought 9 guns and had them hidden in secret compartments, all over the house, which sounds reasonable until he admits he spent 3 hours alone, acting out every possible robbery scenario just to justify where he put them.
You gonna rob me at the front door? Okay. I'm gonna give you what you want. Just let me check the mailbox one last time.
That's it. Front door, guest bathroom. Kitchen, imagining he's being robbed while cooking for Thanksgiving. Every single room gets its own elaborate fantasy sequence, complete with Kevin calmly cooperating, asking for one last thing, and then dramatically reaching for the compartment. The bit builds perfectly. Each scenario gets more specific, more unhinged, and by the time he gets to the laundry room, the audience is completely gone. Kevin's laughing too hard to even finish it.
I'm gonna give you what you want. Just let me add some fabric softener sheets. Compartment.
You can tell this is his favorite joke. It shows. The man got robbed once and turned it into one of the greatest stand-up bits of his career. That's the gift. And if Kevin Hart spent 3 hours rehearsing fake robberies at home, imagine what he did when he got his hands on actual fake cops at an award show.
At this moment, I want you to look to your left and look to your right. If you see somebody stooping down or sweating, it's because they got warrants. And guess what? You're going to jail tonight.
2013 BET Hip Hop Awards. Kevin Hart has a movie coming out, and instead of a normal promotional appearance, he shows up with fake cops and a list.
Floyd Mayweather, congratulations on the fight, buddy, but you're going to jail for those damn cowboy boots. You're going to jail. I'm going to lock you up tonight. That was a bad fashion choice. 2 Chainz, you wore a suit tonight. That's not you. Jail.
The whole room is losing it because nobody is safe and Kevin is fully committed, pointing at people in the crowd like he's been authorized to do this. He just showed up to an award show and turned the whole thing into his own personal courtroom. Only Kevin Hart.
Stevie, I see you. You going to jail. I don't know why, but you just need to be locked the f up, man. It's gotta stop. Damn it, Stevie, they gotta get you out of here, man.
And if Kevin Hart can turn a whole award show into a one-man operation, imagine what happens when he becomes an Olympic commentator.
Thought it was a beat was about to drop.
NBC looked at the Tokyo Olympics and thought, you know what this needs? Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg with a microphone and zero restrictions. And somehow, it was the best decision anyone made that entire summer. The equestrian event comes on screen, a horse starts trotting, and Snoop Dogg, completely serious, decides the horse is crip walking. That's his official Olympic commentary.
Horse crip walking, cuz, you see that? On the set. That's gangsters up. Hey! Oh, cuz. Oh, look at this, cuz.
Oh, come on, man.
This horse is off the chain. I gotta get this in a video.
You can see Kevin is the one losing it this time, because once Snoop commits to that take, there is nowhere else to go except straight into chaos.
One more time so we can see it. West Coast.
And if Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg could hijack the Olympics, Kevin wasn't about to let Saturday Night Live go by without making his mark on the NBA either. December 2017, Kevin Hart hosts Saturday Night Live, and he decides out of every possible sketch, every possible character, he's going to play Shaquille O'Neal on Inside the NBA, a 5'2" man playing a 7'1" man live on national television. What could go wrong?
And on my right is Shaquille O'Neal.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, very merry. If you're Jewish, happy harmonica.
The writing alone is brilliant. Shaq reimagined as someone with a deeply creative relationship with the English language, dropping logic that almost makes sense but absolutely does not.
Hey, Shaq can't ride no horse. Feet don't touch the ground. But you can't beat a dead horse, because dead horses tell no tales, because they're horses who lost their tail.
And then comes the reveal. Kevin stands up from behind the desk, and everyone loses it.
Let's go, Chuck. Throw me the ball. Yeah, me and you, Charles. Let's go.
Kenan Thompson's Charles Barkley tells him he looks like the letter F came to life. And what makes it land even harder is knowing Shaq saw it, reshared it himself, and captioned it, "You a fool for this one." That's the friendship right there. Kevin roasted him on live television, and Shaq loved every second of it.